There was an obedient boy who lived together with his family. His name was Mohari. Mohari was an employee of the village governor. That village in which Mohari lived was killing anyone who reached the age of 60. Mohari's father was 60 years old. Mohari was very sad for his father, because the soldiers would come to take his father's body in the morning. On that night, Mohari held a last dinner to say goodbye to his father, and all the sad family members met. Mohari's father was trying to appear happy in front of his family, and he hugged his son, Mohari, and all the family members. When Mohari's father went to sleep, Mohari went to kill him, but he could not and cried. His sister came and said, "Mohari, we must think about saving our father." They came up with the idea of digging a tunnel in the house for their father to hide in and then escape. In the morning, the governor's soldiers came to them to see their father's body. Mohari's sister told them that she had burned his body because he was suffering from a contagious disease. So the soldiers were frightened and fled so that the disease would not infect them. When Mohari went to work for the governor asked him about his father, and Mohari said, "My father died." While they were talking, one of the soldiers entered and ran to them and said to the governor, "There is a large army outside." So Mohari went to see, so he quickly returned to the governor, and he was afraid. That army was Dreckel's army. They wanted to seize the village. When the governor came out to see what Dreckel wanted, Dreckel said to the governor, "I do not want to take your village with violence, but I will give you a riddle. If you solve it, I and my army will go and I will return to listen to the answer." In the morning, the governor said, "What is the riddle, Dreckel?" Dreckel threw a tree stalk to the governor and said, "Whatever the root of the tree was, the ruler returned to the village and gathered the villagers to find out the answer to the riddle." The villagers sat until the evening in the governor's palace, and did they not know the answer? When Mohari returned home, he told his father the story, and Mohari's father said, "The answer is simple. The root of the tree is the heaviest." On the morning of the second day, the governor met with Dreckel and said, "Mohari, tell him the answer." Mohari threw the stem into the water and said, "The root of the tree is the heaviest." The governor and the people of the village were victorious over Dreckel, so Dreckel and his army went, and he was angry and said, "I will come back a second time." The governor and the people of the village were happy with their victory over Dreckel and his army, and the period was short until Dreckel and his army returned and brought with them an elephant. When the governor went out to Dreckel, he said to him, "What do you want, Dreckel?" Then Dreckel said, "I have another riddle that I want you to answer until the morning of the second day." The governor said, "What is the riddle?" Dreckel said, "What is the thing that the elephant is afraid of?" The governor returned to the village and the villagers gathered together to answer the riddle. They sat until late at night and did not know the answer. In the morning, Dreckel and his army attacked the village, so Mohari went to his father and told him. Mohari's father said, "The elephant is afraid of rats." So Mohari went to get him the mice, and when the elephant looked at the mice, he became afraid and ran away, so the people of the village were victorious over Dreckel and his army. When Mohari and the governor were sitting, the governor said to Mohari, "Why didn't you tell us the answer to the riddle?" And the referee took out the sword to kill Mohari. Mohari said, "I am not the one who answered the riddle. It is my father." The governor was surprised and said, "Isn't your father dead?" Mohari said. The governor was not surprised and was happy that the Mohari boys saved the village. The governor issued a decision not to kill the elderly and appointed Mohari as his minister, and everyone lived happily and peacefully.